Okay, hi everyone. This is hopefully my first video. I've been practicing and I have on a festive shirt for you guys. It says my Dancer, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Tequila, Vodka, and Whiskey. Okay, so I am just going to be using the Seint 3D products. I figure, it's nice to see videos, but you guys need to see me applying it. And it's a little intimidating, but it's a real face. You need to see it. So the first thing I'm going to do is some color correction. And I'm using mango, which is used for a lot of things. Some people use aspen for melasma, freckles, old acne spots, but I find mango works for pretty much anything I need. So you see I've got an angry spot right here. I have hyperpigmentation there that goes down my neck on this side because that's the side that is, hitting the windshield. And then over here, just some spots and some old healing spots and some redness, mainly on this cheek because, why be symmetrical? That wouldn't make sense, but okay. It's fun being in your 40s, right? Why do we have to still have acne in our 40s? Okay. So I am going to you can use your fingers, which I do often with color correction or the foundation. But I am going to use first the detail brush. This is not the detail brush. This is the spot brush, I believe. Still learning brushes. So I'm gonna work on these little healing spots. And something I didn't do for those, but I think is always a good idea, is to use balm. I've been using Seint for over a year and I wish I would have had balm from the beginning. Originally it was created for Demi, but now they're using it as a hybrid. And so any places where you want to do some correction, especially with healing acne or active acne, it's really good. If you have some areas that you're flaky, I get flaky right here. Just a thin layer. I like it so much I can be kind of heavy-handed sometimes. And I'm gonna do, I don't really think I need it over here, but I'll do just a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going back with mango. It's kind of a peachy color. You see that just disappeared. And I'm saying color correction, which is what you do with this stuff, whereas Demi is more color science. And so I'm not going to play with that today. But a little bit goes a long way. Okay, then I'm going to, since I'm gonna finish right here, I could do a little bit more there, but my 3D is gonna take care of that, so I'm not worried about that. This bigger spot, I'm gonna get a bigger brush and I'm going to try, honestly, I might wanna do my fingers, but I'm gonna try the end of the bright brush. Just light tap. And so the balm just helps it adhere, because you know when you're flaky, inflamed, it doesn't want to always stay on. Right here I have this little, I don't know, hyperpigmentation, weird V melasma spot. So I'm going in and just lightly covering that. I have an age spot right here. I don't really care about it, but just showing you. How it takes care of that. Okay. And then I have some stuff going on under my eyes, but I'm gonna probably do that last. And I already have some eyeshadow on because I don't know, I just learned that that's better to do first in case you have fallout, and then you can clean up. But you know, everybody does the order of products that works for them. So the next thing I'm going to do is take my main highlight. Actually, I lied. I'm going to take that mango and go over this larger area and red area with the, I'm not going to say the brush because I'm afraid I'll mess up the title, which I've done a few times, but I can list it. So I'm just color correcting that area. This is the buff brush. And so it just tones down that redness a lot. And then you see I have some sun damage up there. I'm gonna try some mango there. Probably did a little too much. So I'm gonna take my perfector sponge and just take away any excess. And do a little bit more. A little bit around the nose, if you have broken capillaries or just some redness, it's good. Still working with the mango. Okay, now I'm gonna go get my main highlight, which is Athens. And I'm gonna sweep this on. They say the beard of the face. Again, it'll just depend on what you need. Some people only do it in just a few areas and then they cover with their contour and bronzer because those are coverage. So you can just use those and use this main highlight and the other areas. I wish I would have looked at when I was starting this. So if I'm in a hurry, I mean, I've done this in my car, but I don't typically do the color correction. I can do it in about 6 minutes. Going very lightly because this just goes a long way and you don't want it to look cakey. Okay, you see I didn't do much. I didn't do any right there or right here because I'm going to do my contour. I never did contour. I mean, I had it done, like, you know, applied at a cosmetic store or whatever, but I don't know. I don't have a big forehead. So people who have larger foreheads like to do that contour just to, you know, decrease the look, the size. But I still like to do a little bit. So you could use that same brush. I'm using the detail brush. But honestly, there's several brushes depending on the finish you want that you can do everything with. And my contour, I started out with Ash, which was too light. So you see I'm still like going in lighter than some people do. This is Cedar. And then to give me a little bit of definition on the cheeks, I'm just going in to the side and stamping along the bone. And you don't want to come out further than like the middle of your eye. And I'm going to do the other side. And oftentimes I will do this even last because I can overblend and then I can't see it, but I'm going to try not to overblend. And then this is great to, they call it, you know, snatch your chin and jowls. And then you just want to blend down a little bit. And you want to go up to the back of your ear, creating that natural shadow. And then for the top, you just flick into your hairline. And pouncing is key with this makeup. No swiping. Remember that cartoon? I don't remember. Was it Dora? Where there's some character and he would always say, no swipey, no swipey. Okay. And then the part I really need to kind of practice with is the contour for the nose. And I've seen this done many ways, but it kind of just depends on what you are wanting. If you want to slenderize your nose, you want to do the tip and then bring that in to your eyebrow. Okay. All right, so done the contour. And I think I'm going to put a little bit more highlight right here. And then I'm just pouncing. Some people will apply all of the different parts and then blend. I guess I don't know, I'm too impatient to wait, so I don't do that. But the cool thing is with this makeup, you can do it however you want to. And as you play with it, you'll find what you like best. So your main highlight is going to connect with your contour. And I'm gonna go just lightly a little bit right here. Okay. See, it's just skin. This is still angry. I may have rubbed it off. So I'm gonna go I'll show you a different thing. If you do the highlight first, see, it's not really changing that tone. So that's why I'm gonna go back with the mango. Okay. It's not perfect because skin isn't perfect, but it's so much thinner than typical traditional foundation where it then just becomes cakey. Okay, now I'm going to do my main, or my brightener, which we think of as concealer. And I'm gonna use the small part of the buff brush and go down the middle. So your brightener is used down the center of your face because that's where you want to draw people, and just brighten things up above your Cupid's bow. I feel like this isn't showing up that well, but I don't have a great window. So this is what I got right now, guys. I feel like I can do a little bit more, and I want to be careful when I'm pressing in not to mess up the spots that I covered, which I now can't see. Okay. And then I'm gonna take, I'm gonna get some balm underneath my eyes. Oh, it's right in front of me. And just lightly, this has made all the difference for me being able to apply anything under my eyes, because for the last probably 3 years, nothing looks good. It's cakey. It brings more attention to the fine lines. I don't need that. I don't want that. So now I'm going to apply the brightener. You'll see a lot of people do it with their fingers. Again, you just got to play and see what you like. The hard thing is not to apply too much. When you apply it right here, you can do a little there, to your laugh lines if you want. People call that the automatic facelift. And then I'm going to get the end of that detail brush and very lightly continue this right here to brighten up. And then just press and lightly feather under the eyes. Man, I would have loved to have had access to this in my 20s and 30s. When you see how pretty it is on people that don't have fine lines, don't need the balm, it's really nice. But you just got to go with what you have and play up your features, play down the places that you don't want to accentuate. So I'm redder there, so I'm going to take a little bit of my mane and pounce. And then here I'm just pressing with my finger. And then I'm going to go a little bit right here. You know, it takes me a little bit longer because it's just easier to add where you need it. Okay. So then I'm not going to do my eyebrows because I don't do them well. But I do want to blend out right here. Bronzer. I love their bronzer, the Bella bronzer. It's great not only to warm up your skin, but if you just want to do like a tinted moisturizer, always do sunscreen. Sunscreens, you got to have sunscreen, and don't rely on just the sunscreen that comes in your foundation or in your moisturizer. It's not enough. But we'll talk about that another time. So now again, you can use the same brush. I like to use the blush bronzer. So I'm going to take it, press it, and just see it. First I was doing a little bit of swiping, and I don't want to lose my contour. So I need to press and practice what I preach. Bella is the most popular bronzer. If you're darker skin, I think tan lines is supposed to be really pretty. But you're just gonna put that in. And then if you're like me and most women, your neck is much lighter than your face and your neck. And so you want to bring a little bit of that down. And sometimes I was like, oh, makeup on my neck, that just sounds gross. But this stuff is so light. It lets your skin shine through. Okay. I think I need a little bit of mane right here. And some will take their contour underneath their bottom lip just to give it a little bit more lip. It's very subtle. Okay, so I'm still practicing with my bronzer on my forehead. Now, if I have anything extra and I just want to set, I'm just pressing this perfector sponge. You can use, if you have a beauty, whatever theirs is called, but these are cheaper and I feel like they're better. Real story, this isn't wanting to stay, so I'm gonna go back again with Mango, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of light powder. Okay. So they have a pressed powder called Vanilla Dust, and it's very fine milled. You can also, you can use your favorite one. You just want it to be real, real fine. And you don't need powder unless you're really oily or you just don't like a dewy look, which I like a dewy look because my skin is just, it naturally gets dehydrated. So my Vanilla Dust, I dropped it and broke it, so I just poured it into a little container. And I'm putting a little bit on my nose because I have a runny nose right now, and just feel like, you know, with tissue and everything, things will come off more easy. All right. Let's see, next I'm going to take some blush, which you can use on your lip or cheek. I put that balm on my lips. My lips are naturally dry. I don't typically line my lips, so I'm not going to. So I'm going to take, usually my favorite one is Hollywood. It's also a dupe for the NARS brand cheek that's called Orgasm, that's so pretty. But I'm going to use a little bit of that. But first I'm going to just use the Madrid. And I know it looks crazy, but it's fine. It's going to blend out. And I'm going to get the blush bronzer and just pat, pounce. So I feel like I came up a little too high over here. But because cream makeup can move around, which is what we need. We need it to be able to move with our skin because our skin moves. Which means it doesn't settle into those fine lines. But I can go back and get some main highlight or brightener and just bring it down a little bit. See there? And I'm good to go. Okay. I like this Madrid. It's just a nice kind of flush. And then in the summer, I'll usually do just the Hollywood. I already kind of have some natural sheen, so I'm not going to add that. Oh, I was going to put the Madrid on my lips. Okay, next, I'm pretty much done, but I am going to apply just a little bit. No, I'm not gonna do any powder. The next thing I would do is some eyeliner and mascara, do my brows. But this is really the finished look. And if you feel like, you know, you have any access or you just want to help, you know, making sure it stays put. If you're really dry, which I'm combination, you can take our setting spray if you're dry. If you're oily, you don't want to use that. You can just use powder. I also like the Fix Plus, but you can go cheap and try e.l.f. or Milani is pretty good. Those are drugstore, Ulta. But I'm going to do the MAC Fix Plus. Just so you can see what I do. And then if I feel too shiny, I can take a little bit of that setting powder and dust it over. And this is good to do under the eyes too. If you are oily or you think you might need a little help getting your brightener to stay under your eyes, you'll just take a little bit of that setting powder, the vanilla dust or whatever you have on hand, and just pat. But that's all I have under my eyes. You know, it's just a little brighter because I'm not going heavy, not doing a bunch of other stuff. So that's the finished look. Just very natural. All right, guys, I'd love for you to give me a chance to color match you. Doesn't cost anything. It's real easy. I just need a selfie and a window, and then we'll go from there. If you order and you get the wrong color, then it's free to exchange and swap out. But a lot of these colors I've used several different colors, kind of depending on the time of the year or what's going on with my skin. So they just have a lot of, they're broad in the skin tones that they work on. So I hope you'll give it a try, and I wish you a Merry Christmas. Bye.